Okay. Take two. All right. So, as I mentioned earlier, welcome to the soundcheck portion, y'all. This is why we do these things. So, yeah, so let me just get all set up and everything, and then we'll begin the stream proper. So, if you guys are just coming in, get your popcorn, get your iced coffee, if you will, or whatever y'all have, and get comfy while we get things set up here. So, yeah. Don't have any music or anything here. Let's see. Where's the... Oh, it's not even on here yet. I thought I had the Shure mic settings up, so this is probably all kinds of meh. But not for long, hopefully. Hopefully. Okay, so let's get the preset live. So have a higher gain. Okay, that looks good. Heavy compression. Okay, all right. Looking to Gucci's. Awesome, awesome. Although actually, I think we can do it like... All right, cool, cool, cool. Just making sure. So... We'll set this up as well. Yeah, the funny thing about these streams is that I have to keep enabling monetization. Now, supposedly you can enable it by default, which if you're using the YouTube app, you can do that. But if you're using, I'm using OBS to stream right now. So I have to do other things. So I have to like go in there and like manually, once the stream starts, I have to manually like turn all this shit on, basically, which is annoying because sometimes I forget. The stream, ironically, the stream always does very well when I forget. So it's just how it is. But you know, huh? But let's go ahead. Have listens here. Ironically, the stream always does very well when I forget. Okay, cool. So, audio sounds pretty decent. Let's go ahead, blast this guy out, and we'll get going. Easy. All right. So that's been blasted out. Let's switch it up to... Why is this damn thing so high? There we go. It doesn't have the thing in there. Damn it. Okay, so we have that. Some places it's just easier to update on my phone versus on here. So but let's... So we got that. And then we'll also get the... Actually, you know what? Why don't I have the music on now while I'm futzing about here? Okay. Let's go. Go to our usual suspect here. Find a good stream going. I'll do this one. And then what we'll do, and I learned this trick so I can let you guys listen to stuff without me listening to it because it's not being played over the speakers. It's this. So It's a neat little trick that I learned. Here we go. So you change the output device to, where is it? Motif mix. Because when you plug in the Shure mic, it has its own little separate thing, right? So you're not gonna, like, you're hearing it now because it's displayed on the desktop audio, which I have sectioned out for that mix. And it's just a 10-hour lo-fi hip-hop mix from Zenbuster Music. Shout out to Zenbuster Music. They've been the background for a lot of my live streams. Actually, they've been super, super helpful with having that stuff. So major shout out to them. So you can just have something running in the background while I yap away here. So let me get my shit in order. They've been super, super helpful with having that stuff. So major shout out to them. Awesome. So it doesn't sound too loud, which is good. It's good. Copy that link. Butte. Copy. Butte. Okay, just gotta get out there, plug my shit, as it were. Oh. Where are we at? Yes, not really. Here. Damn. You're looking through I'm looking through some of these Discord channels, and it's like, am I the only one that fucking? Oop. Okay, so do and just pastel. There we go. Like a week apart. Doing some shit. Golly. Nice. So, okay, what was this? Interesting. Looking through this one Discord I follow. Somebody does the live 2D models for a very reasonable price as well. So it's full body illustration model for live 2D rigging. So I'm guessing they don't do the actual rigging, it's just they prep it for rigging. So you have to either get somebody else to do that or do it yourself, maybe. Regardless, just having the model up there is nice. And then you can get rigging later, maybe. Regardless, got that. Okay. Where's... Damn, bro. This Discord's popping off. I'm looking through like some of the Discord channels that I follow, and like some where it's like I see me and then like nobody else talking, and there's others where it's like 50, 100, 200 plus messages since I posted, and I was like, oh shit, okay. You know, so that's interesting. All right, let's move you up here. do some, yeah, like, yeah, go from 25 plus to 50 plus to 100 plus. My gosh. Is yeah. Okay, I think. Yep. All right. It's all the butt plugging. Oh wait. Sacre bleu! I missed one. What is it? Dad? To open up X for the first time in forever and see all the craziness going on here. Nice. Anybody stopped into the channel yet? I don't know. It's public, yes. I know it's a soundcheck portion and all, but alright, cool. Alright, I guess I'll give a little plug on Twitter /X. So, yeah. Beep. Oh, I didn't even post my newest video on there. Golly. Oh well. Jesus. Oh well, yo, Twin Lamps. K-Paso, what's up, man? Just in time for the stream. Okay, I think that's all the butt plug-in I'm gonna be doing for the stream on Discord and Twitter and Facebook and group chats, all this other nonsense. So I think we're to Gucci's as far as that goes. So I think we can begin the stream proper. Okay, time code it is. All right. Fuck, I wasn't looking at the camera. All right, we're live, pal. Once again, baby. So, hey, Andy here. And today we're going to be editing some videos for a client of mine. His name's Kevin. He works with a lot of like AI platforms and things like that. So I have used AI before. I use it primarily with Adobe. They have like an AI assist program built into it for like certain like script reading and things like that. And I also use Google's Gemini platform as well to kind of help with a lot of back-end stuff, especially for like my live streams and descriptions and things like that. Macaroni days, yeah. I don't have a Discord channel anymore, unfortunately. Although I am thinking of bringing it back. I got rid of it when... Oh shoot, when did I get rid of it? Was that during school? School. I forget. The old macaroni days, yeah. Yeah, I ended up getting rid of that a long time ago, just because I felt like I couldn't really manage it as well, because I was doing a bunch of work and stuff, and I wasn't really in there as often as I used to be. But you know, I have been thinking about it. If anything, okay, just switched. Oh, hold on. Are we good? Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I had a little drop-off thing with the Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi, but switched over to the better network. Sorry about that. But anyway, like I was saying, I don't know if that got cut off, so I'm just gonna repeat it. But yes, I did have a Discord. I ended up closing it a few years back because I just felt like I wasn't like in there as much as I used to be back in the you know, macaroni days. Because like during those times, like I was working from home, doing school from home, so I wasn't really going anywhere on the regular. So I felt like I had a better handle of it back then. But then once stuff started opening up and I started going to work in person and things like that, then I was on Discord a lot less than I used to be. But I have been thinking about opening up Discord, if anything, to just kind of spitball some ideas and get you guys' takes on certain things, see if it's video worthy, if you will. If you guys are wondering what I'm drinking, it's a Starbucks iced black. So it's black iced coffee, and I actually use ice in this. So yeah, I definitely had a good community in there. It's a damn shame. I really didn't want to close it down, but I just felt like I wasn't really in there enough, and I don't know, it's just a lot of like you know, self-insecurity, I guess. You know, I felt like I wasn't really giving you guys enough value by not being there as often as I used to be. So I just wanted to shut it down. But you know, after being in like other group chats and other Discords and things like that, I have been kind of getting the itch to open it up again. But you know, just with the idea that I'm not going to be in there all the time. Because, like, you know, like I said, in addition to the group chats and other Discords, I've also been looking back at my old videos and live streams, too. Just to kind of get some ideas, because, you know, I've been on the shorts kick for a while. Just kind of trolling through the old stuff just to kind of get an idea of what would be good material. And, you know, you kind of end up forgetting a lot of things that happened back in the day. And yeah, I think it was near the end of school. I forget exactly when it was, but it was a while ago. So yeah, I think maybe I was just trying to lock in to like finish school or something. But I basically I just didn't have enough time to sit there and manage it and be in it as often as I wanted to be in it. So I felt like I wasn't really giving you guys enough value to really sustain it. But yeah, looking back, I think it's okay to have Discord channels and stuff where there doesn't have to be like gobs of activity all the time, because those are the kind of channels that I thought Discord channels were supposed to be, right? Where it's just people in there just yapping all the time, and I'd be in there doing my thing or sharing videos and live streams and all this other stuff as well. But yeah, might be something I have to do after stream, perhaps. Maybe. Although it'll take me a while to restructure it. It's been a while since I've made my own Discord server, so I'm a little rusty. But yeah, because I've been thinking about that in addition to the stuff we do here, but also for the editing channel as well. Just kind of make it one channel. So if you want to talk about Japan stuff, there's different like sub channels for that. And then if you want to talk about editing stuff, there's gonna be channels for that as well. And it'll be a good way to have us share our work. So for those who do stuff like that or something similar, we can do that as well. But in any event, shit, what was I talking about before this? All right, the video. The reason we're here, right? Holy ADD Batman. So we're gonna switch over and get to work, right? So we got this guy. Oh yeah, look at my OBS setup. Isn't it cool? Let me just move that off screen there. Yeesh. So we're just gonna do a little bit of tweaking off screen. Nothing too major, but basically I'm just going to add the crop. Come on, there we go. So we're just gonna add the crop to make that a little bit smaller. So that way I'm not taking up a whole lot of space when we're doing the picture-in-picture stuff. And also my thing is, Jesus Christ, come on, god damn. My thing is reversed as well. So if I'm looking over here, I'm actually looking over there at the chat. But if I'm doing editing and stuff, I'm actually looking at the left side of the screen. If I'm looking at, the text and things of that sort. Got that going. So yeah, I think we'll see if I can flip the chat over to this side. Yeah, there we go. Hold on now. Maybe we just combine it here. No. There we go. And then just, yeah, there we go. That way the chat's a bit closer, so I don't have to like look all the way over. I just look like right there. So if anybody says anything, I can just kind of peek over thusly and do it that way. So yeah, cool. All right, so this guy Kevin, he does a lot of AI stuff. So in a previous video that I worked on with him, he was discussing DeepSeek. So right now we're just going to be doing cutting for this. So right now I'm cutting different sections like I did here for DeepSeek. And in these sections we're going to add B-roll. Not for each section. There's going to be some sections where it's him talking for A-roll. But I have the sections spaced out so that way I'll know like where to add certain B-rolls and things. Now I'm going to collect the B-roll and stuff later because I use OBS to do that. So I can't stream and do capture at the same time while editing stuff. That's just a bit much. So I have to collect that off stream. But I can add the other B-roll and stuff in this stream. And first off, we're just gonna make chapter cuts. Not chapter cuts, but like scene cuts, basically. So we're gonna do it for this one. This one. Oh, just these two, because I already did this one. And stuff like that. So yeah. Let's get it. Come on.
Script at work.
Okay, cool. So let's turn.
Use the script at work.
A little bit. Okay, good. So yeah, you can go through all these different things, and if there's certain prompts, actually, now that I think about it, let's go ahead. Chotomate. Oh, that's not it. Wrong one. Ah, there we go. Let me grab a little something something. So that way I can write down the prompts. So I got like a little notepad off to the side, and so I can just copy the prompts from here. And then the B-roll basically is just going to be me going to either Descript or DeepSeek from the previous video, inputting the prompt, and then like the capture is basically just seeing the prompt being outputted in real time. So it'll show like, oh, this is what it might say and stuff like that. So the plan is to do it for Descript as well. Never used Descript. I have used DeepSeek before, but haven't used Descript. And like I said, my main AI type stuff that I use is Gemini because it's the easiest to access. Come on.
Script at work, step by step 1. Set up and get oriented, 10 to 20 minutes. Create your account and set up a workspace for your team.
Okay, so we'll do it at create. And then install the desktop.
Install the desktop app, Mac/Windows, to record your screen, webcam, and edit locally. Learn the core ID.
Okay. Yeah, see, the thing is, he actually uses AI to record these videos, if you couldn't tell from the audio. And I just think it's kind of ingenious because I forget what the name of this program is called. He told me once, I totally forget. But he basically like gave like a sound imprint and recorded him saying a bunch of stuff, I guess, to train the system. And once the system was trained enough, all he has to do is just input whatever he wants him to say, and he'll say it, basically. But the problem is the pacing and everything can get a little. He's having a stroke. But I think if done right, it can be a good way to be efficient with these sort of videos, you know?
Learn the core idea. You edit audio video by editing the transcript. Cut text, cut media, fix words.
Transcripts. Okay.
To fix narration. Skim the basics later. Making your first video and the beginner's tutorial.
Yeah, see, like this, it's like, what does any of this mean? This literally just sounds like he's reading off of a prompter.
2. Start a project.
Okay. This is the number 2, not TO. So you have to go into here, you see, and add the W, which I think there was a. Yeah, see again the. Jeez. See this one, the step by step. There's no like separation here. So it's literally step by step 1. But he meant to say how to use Descript at work step by step 1. But the way he says it, or he says it, is strange here.
How to use Descript at work, step by step 1.
See? Just, there's no way for me to cut it without it sounding unnatural. So I just basically have to leave it as is, unfortunately. Yeah. So, yeah, this video is pretty long. It's like over 6.5 minutes. The nice thing about these AI videos, I do have to say, is that you don't really have to cut out anything. I used to do that, but I just feel like now I don't really have to, you know? Just because I guess the program has improved enough to where there's no like, there used to be these really long pauses in between like paragraphs and stuff. But now I think the program has like tightened itself up in a way to where it doesn't do that. So I don't have to sit there and cut out all the long pauses. So that's nice. So, you know, instead of thinking from like, what can I remove? It's just A-roll, basically. So it's all, the narration, everything's there. So it's just, I have to think about it from, okay, where can I add B-roll? And where can A-roll come in? You know? So I'm just cutting to that. I'm not thinking about space like I usually am with other videos. Like with Eric's videos, I think about space. Because, you know, he's eating. So there's times where he's not saying anything because he's just numbing on something. So I have to, with especially with the AI, because it doesn't discern what type of silence there is. So in that way, because how I used to do it was I would cut out the space. So say, for instance, you know, there's a space here, right? So, you know, whereas before I would do, I'd do this with key commands, not with the razor tool, but, and then I would delete the space. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 button presses to do one thing. See, and even if you use key commands like 1, 2, 3, 4. So that saved me 1 click. So you're doing all this stuff. Hold on. I think I screwed up maybe. No. So you're doing all that stuff. And, you know, if it's just like once or twice, it's fine. But those 4 to 5 key commands add up. And so it really takes a lot of time to do it that way. Which is why I use the features here, like up in here, getting rid of filler words and pauses and stuff like that, because that way it saves me a boatload of time. But I have to like completely rethink how I edit. So instead of editing to remove the silences, I edit to bring back the silences. So it's like reverse editing, basically how I used to do it. So in Eric's case, for example, because he's a food YouTuber, I would add in him eating the food for like a certain amount of time. Not the whole time like I used to, because Jesus Christ, that shit got tedious, right? Because he'd sit there for like a good 2 to 3 minutes numbing on something without saying anything, or maybe like a, oh yeah, or something like that. And like, that's not really fun. So what I would do is I would always include the first bite. And then I would even got to a point where I would like count the chews. And I'd do 3. So 1, 2, 3, cut. And then whatever the system had set up for his verbal reaction, whether it's an oh yeah, or oh, it's so pure, so soft, or whatever, I would put that in there. And then just, if he would continue to eat, I'd generally cut that stuff up. Maybe get in like 1 bite, 1 chew, and then move on. But nothing long like it used to be. Because I realize that people are there. You know, there's like some people who, for like maybe from the mukbang community, mukbang, however you want to pronounce it, who like the full ASMR, like, you know, all that sloshing around nonsense. Which, Jesus Christ, I cannot stand that stuff personally. That stuff's just nails on a chalkboard for me. Like every once in a while I'd come across it on like TikTok or shorts or reels or something like that. You know, just if I wanted to get like food ideas, places that Eric could go to or whatever. And it'd just be, oh, I think the worst lately was the Nashville hot mozzarella sticks that I would see from, oh, I forget which place does it, like Chili's? I think it's Chili's. And the whole big thing was like the cheese pull. But the thing is, like, they have it mic'd up to where you can hear every single cocksucking sound. And it is disgusting. You know, you hear like them like grabbing the cheese stick and stuff like a, it's like, and you know, that whole pull, just like the cheese pull would just be gross. And then you'd hear like every friggin' molar and incisor and canine tooth just like chomping on this fucking thing, just like fucking Transformers. And then you hear like the squelching of the cheese, and you're and then God forbid they take something to drink. It's like they're in the fucking Gobi Desert or some shit. They haven't seen water in 30 days. It's like and you know, they all those kinds of shit. And I'm just like, this is fucking disgusting. My God. And it's just people in their cars doing this kinds of shit. And I'm just like, who watches this shit? So, I say all that to say that I don't want Eric's videos to turn out like that. And I talked with Eric about it, and he doesn't want his videos to turn out like that either. So that's why I cut out a lot of the eating portions of his videos. Unless there's like a reaction. If there's like a reaction, then I'll leave that in. Usually with like really spicy food, he'll be like sitting there fucking dying, just like oh my God, the actual discussion of the food rather than the disgusting or the digesting, the mastication of the food, if you will. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk, by the way. Let's continue.
To Descript. Choose language and speaker names.
Oops, sorry. Where was I at? Oh, Jesus, I was way off.
2. Start a project, aka a composition. Create a new project.
Okay. So from here, and the reason I'm using razor tool versus just doing key command cuts is that I like to cut to the caption. And so if I were to do key command cuts, I would have to kind of line it up. And I can get fairly close. Sometimes it snaps. Most of the time it doesn't. And so if I did it like that, you see, also cut this caption a little bit too. Versus if I use the razor and you go here. Oh, hold on. If I'm on here, you would see these lines, right? So it lines up to the header, but also lines up to the ending and the beginning of the captions above. So you can get a better line of that. So you just, so it's, in these cases, it's easier for me to edit with the razor tool versus key commands like I usually do. Just in case y'all are wondering. Most of the time it's just key commands, just, you know?
Create a new project. Import media, meeting, recording, webinar, product demo, or hit record to capture your screen plus mic plus camera right into Descript.
Let me see how I can space it out.
Create a new project. Import media.
Oof.
Media, meeting, recording, webinar, product demo, or hit record to capture your screen.
I think, yeah, we'll separate here just so you can see me like hit create new project, importing the media, or hitting record. So you line it up by action, right? That's the idea.
Record to capture your screen plus mic plus camera right into Descript.
Yep.
Choose language and speak.
Okay. Here.
Speaker names. Let Descript auto transcribe. Clean.
Hold on.
Speaker names. Let Descript auto transcribe. Clean the transcript.
Maybe.
Script quickly. Remove filler words. Like, etc.
Yeah.
Shorten word gaps. / remove silence to tighten pacing. 3. Rough cut.
Yeah, see speaking of pacing, I don't know. Well, I already talked about the Jesus. Sorry. I already talked about the pacing gripes that I have with these AI type videos. And the thing is, because I'm not familiar with this program, I'm not sure if it's to do with the program or if it's just the way the input text is formatted. Because I noticed that a lot with certain AI programs. You know, they're like genies, you know? Like, you'll get what you want, but you have to phrase it just right, you know? It's that careful what you wish for type mentality. So you have to be very specific with these types of things, right?
In minutes. Text-based editing. Read the transcript like a doc. Delete sentences.
Okay, text-based editing, yes. Okay, so we'll cut here. Delete sentences, you don't need.
The media trims with it. Correct mistranscript.
Hold on. I think we'll include those in there as well.
Transcribed words. Your changes update captions in the script. Reorder by splitting.
We'll combine those two, because as we're correcting mistranscripted things, you'll see it auto update, is what this is saying. I've never used Descript, so I don't know. Like I said, for captions and stuff, I just use Premiere's auto captions. I keep it simple, you know.
Into scenes and dragging in the sidebar timeline. 4.
Okay. And see, that was a pretty good split, timeline, space, 4. You know, so there was a good split there in terms of pacing. So I like that.
Make it sound good. Use studio sound to remove noise.
Okay, interesting. So as an AI sound filter mabob.
Noise room echo. Normalize auto level the clip. Trim mouth.
Okay. I think we can. Oh shit! See again. This is what happens. So you have to line it up just right. See.
Noises. If you need to fix a line without re-recording, use overdub.
Use overdub.
AI voice clone of you approved speakers. 5.
Okay, so I guess we'll keep that all as one thing.
Make it look good. Add layouts, titles, and captions. Drop in company logos.
It's a lot of things.
Use green screen to swap the background, eye contact, correct gaze, and stock B-roll.
It has an eye contact, correct? Oh, now this I gotta see, because I have a real problem with eye contact, even whether it's in person or on camera. I'm just really atrocious at it. Although in this context, I'm looking at the screen, not at you guys. So it's not that I don't like you. It's just if I'm focused on this, I don't know what the hell's going on down there or over there. So, love. Anywho, let's continue.
B-roll, music not GIFs from description.
I'm sorry, music what now?
Music not GIFs from description.
Not GIFs? What the fuck is a music GIF?
Library. For screen tutorials, record B-roll directly into the project.
Huh? Now see, this split was fucking awful.
From Descript's library.
Okay. So, in this case, you can do what's called caption splitting. So this you can save. So we'll select this one, right? And we'll go up to here, and this will split the caption. You can also hit Alt S on the keyboard as well. So if I hit Alt S, or whoop, that ain't it. Come on, Alt S, hit. Why are we doing that? Ah, maybe this? No, what the flip is that? Anyway, hold on. Okay. Huh. Well, I guess I don't have that key command lined up then. That's weird. Okay. Anyway, I'll just go up here and do the split thingy. There you go. And it splits this caption in two. So the idea...
From Descript's library. For screen tutorial.
So make library its own thing, and then for screen tutorials, the bottom one. So do that. And then for screen tutorials, yep. Hit.
Library. For screen tutorials, record B-roll directly into the project.
Okay.
Descript's library. For screen tutorials.
Oh, well that's nice. It actually lined it up for me. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it gets a little squeaky and you have to like manually do it. But no, this one worked out great. Awesome.
Tutorials record B-roll.
Toe.
From Descript's library. For screen tutorials, record B-roll.
Okay, so we'll just cut that there, right? Okay. Oh, there it is. There it is. Come on now. Motherfucker. Ugh. It's annoying. Well, regardless.
Tutorials record B-roll directly into the project. Polish A-roll first, then fill placeholders with your screen. Polish A-roll.
Polish? What the hell is he talking about?
First, then fill placeholders with your screen captures. 6.
Okay. Let's see here.
Finishing and sharing. Add brand colors fonts.
So, Butte.
Check lower thirds and safe margins. Export. MP4 for video. WAV/MP3 for audio only. SRT/VTT captions for accessibility. Or publish a share link for quick internal
SRV.
AV/MP3 for audio only.
So it didn't capture the slash there, did it? And then SRT for, what was the other one?
SRT/VTT cap.
Slash VTT? Never heard of VTT before.
SRT/VTT captions for accessibility.
Okay.
Or publish a share link for quick internal reviews with comments. Lock access to your team as needed.
Alright. And for this, we'll hit it at the 7, I believe, right now.
7.
Yeah.
Repeatable workflows.
Yeah.
A meeting summary, clips, import, zoom, meet recording, remove fillers, silent.
The fuck is this? What is this?
A meeting summary, clips, import, zoom, meet recording, remove fillers, silence, AI summary of key decisions, export notes, plus short highlight clips for Slack.
Fuck.
Summary, clips, import, zoom, meet recording, remove fillers, silence, AI summary of key decisions, export notes.
What is this word salad?
plus short highlight clips for Slack. B. Tutorial how-to. Meeting summary clips import Zoom. Meet record.
Okay, see, this is what I was saying about the formatting. Because I think after really trying to hold in an aneurysm there, I think I realize what the issue was here. So it's in the formatting of the text, right? So 7, top, repeatable workflows. Okay, this is the next one. A, not a meeting summary clips, but A, colon, meeting summary clips. Import Zoom, meeting recording. Remove filler silence, AI summary of key decisions, and export notes. Plus short clip highlights for Slack. And this one.
B. Tutorial how-to. Write a short script record. A roll, you on camera. Record screen steps.
It's record, not record.
Add callouts. Arrows, captions. Export 1080p MP4 for your LMS.
MP4. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. This is outrageous.
Speaker transcript label. Speakers remove crosstalk, fillers music bed. Overdub fixes, generate show notes. Export wave plus SRT. Prompt examples for Descripts AI Underlord. Planning and scripting.
What? Okay, hold on.
Plus SRT. Prompt examples for Descripts AI Underlord. Planning and scripting. Write a 90.
Okay. Prompt examples for the scripts.
AI Underlord.
AI underscored, I think. So, hold on. So, like that.
AI Underlord. Planning and scripting. Write a 90-second video script for.
Oh, no 90, not the 90-second video script. A 90, SECOND. See, that's why you always gotta redo these captions. It's gotten a lot better. Like before, it was damn near unusable because I had to rewrite every single fucking caption. But now it's still not perfect, but it's gotten a lot better, I will say. Okay. Oh, lordy. About an hour in. Not too shabby at all.
Planning and scripting. Write a 90-second video script for feature product aimed at audience. Tone, friendly, technical.
Again with the split captions. Aimed at audience. And then tone friendly. I don't know. Like.
Aimed at audience. Tone, friendly, technical. Include a hook. Technical. Include a hook.
That's weird.
Aimed at audience. Tone, friendly, technical. Include a hook, 3 steps, and a CTA.
It's called action, folks.
Turn this outline into an on-camera script under 180 words. Add transitions and on-screen text suggestions. Generate a shot.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out how I can...
Underlord. Planning and scripting. Write a 90-second video script for feature product aimed at audience. Tone,
Okay, so include a hook
and a CTA. Turn this outline
Okay. So now that's one prompt, right? Then you take this outline.
into an on-camera script under 180 words. Add transitions and on-screen text suggestions. Generate a shot list for the script above with A-roll, B-roll notes and lower thirds. Summaries and
Okay, cool.
notes. Summarize this meeting into decisions, owners, deadlines,
Okay, then we'll just hit here.
risks. Output as a checklist. Create a 5-bullet executive summary under 120 words for email. Repurposing from this 30 meeting into decisions, owners, deadlines, risks. Output as a checklist. Create a 5-bullet executive summary under 120 words for email. Repurposing from this 30-minute
Okay, so I guess this is all one prompt. Okay.
webinar. Find 3 clips under 20 seconds.
Jesus. Repurposing, which we did that already.
From this 30-minute webinar, find 3 clips under 20 seconds that would work on LinkedIn. Provide time codes, captions, and a hook line. Turn the transcript into show notes with a strong SEO title and short.
Okay, so that's one prompt. And then
Turn the transcript into show notes with a strong SEO title and short description options. Polishing and compliance.
and here. Shit. Here.
Rewrite the script to meet company regulatory guidelines. Avoid claims like X. Use approved language. Avoid claims like X. Company regulatory guidelines. Avoid claims like X. Use approved language, Y, and add a disclaimer. Create
Wait, what?
script to meet company regulatory guidelines. Avoid claims like X. Use approved language, Y, and add a disclaimer. Create include
I guess.
Use approved language, Y, and add a disclaimer. Create inclusive, plain language captions less than or equal to 20 characters per line, 2 lines maximum. Voice fixes, overdub. Regenerate just this sentence in my overdub voice. Match speed and tone to the surrounding audio. Do's and don'ts.
Is this all one fucking prompt? Okay, do's and don'ts, got that.
Do get consent.
Sorry. Sorry.
Do's and don'ts. Do get
Is that? I'm gonna keep that in.
consent before creating or using an overdub voice for anyone other than yourself. Do secure
Okay, that.
links. Share via team-only links. Revoke public links for confidential.
Links.
Public links for confidential content. Do caption everything for
Okay.
accessibility and search. Do keep projects organized. Team greater than department, greater than project, greater than version, and add dates and titles. Do review the final transcript.
Okay.
What you see in text is what plays in the video. Don't publish voices.
Yeah, see, it just You know, and again, this is kind of my problem with this program, is that the way it's lined up, like, I bet if this was outputted as like an outline and stuff like that, make perfect sense. But if you're sending this to an AI to read, it's gonna read it verbatim, just line by line. There's no like spaces or prompts or spaces in the prompt. You know, it's not formatted as a script. It's just formatted as an outline. And when you format it as an outline, it doesn't come out right, in my opinion.
Is without consent or impersonate others. Don't rely only on auto transcription for legal or compliance statements. Don't overuse green screen or eye contact if it breaks realism. Don't export into public folders containing sensitive information. Don't skip backups. Export a lossless WAV or final.
So boop. Again, you have to correct it there.
Don't skip backups. Export a lossless WAV of final audio and keep project files in your team drive. Quick checklists. Pre-record.
Pre-record, not record.
Script or outline ready mic check. Levels around -12 decibels. Quiet room. Camera at eye height. Record at 1080p. 24/30 frames.
There's no fucking pacing in this. God damn.
Checklists. Pre-record. Script or outline ready mic check. Levels around -12 decibels. Quiet room. Camera at eye height. Record at 1080p. 24/30 frames per second. Speak clearly. Edit pass. Remove filler words and long pauses. Apply studio sound, then tweak levels. Fix mistranscriptions. Overdub small flubs. Add titles. Apply studio sound, then tweak levels. Fix mistranscriptions. Overdub small flubs. Add titles, captions, brand colors. Watch once at normal speed, once at 1.5 times for pacing delivery. Export MP4+.
Why did it pause there? MP4, not MP4, or MP4 plus SRT. Okay, so zip.
For pacing delivery, export MP4 plus SRT or WAV for podcast. Save a version, name project, e.g. onboarding V3 2025-8-21. Share review link to the right channel with a due date.
Okay. Whew. And that was one video. Although I did stop to do some things here. So let's carry on. So I have some B-roll here that I'll be using for the non-screen cap parts. So I have a little collection of stuff there. I also have a fully finished version, or that's not it. Project, not properties, we'll say. Finished. Anyway, So yeah, here we have the finished, one of the finished videos. So you can see here there is some stock footage, and there's also some B-roll showing, in this case, DeepSeek in action.
IoT security solutions for mid-sized retailers.
And it's just kind of prattling on there. Okay. Just to give you an idea. So that's one video. I already cut this video up. And there's this one. And now we're gonna do this one. Let's see how many folks we have in the live chat here. Anybody still out there? Okay. Just go ahead and check some messages lately. Yo, Kiryu, what's up, dude? Yeah, good to see you again too, bud. Just out here editing some videos for a client of mine. His name's Kevin. And if you're just tuning in, so he's talking about using different AI programs. He's like really big into the AI scene. So I'm editing some videos of his. I meant to ask, are you planning on staying? Yeah. At times of this live stream, I don't have any plans to move back to America or move elsewhere outside of Japan. I do have plans to move within Japan, though. Preferably staying within Chigasaki, because I really love this place, man. You know, I've actually been looking around for a new place, and I've been looking at some spots in Chigasaki as well as spots in Enoshima, a couple spots in Kamakura as well, but also have to keep in mind the commute to work. Again, I don't want to get too into the nitty-gritty as far as that goes for privacy reasons, but let's just say it would behoove me to be on the Tokaido line. We'll just keep it at that. So with that being said, Kamakura, as much as I love it, living there, unless work is close by, I don't really see it being as much of a possibility as, say, Chigasaki. Same with Enoshima as well, because you have to take the friggin' the Odaku line up just to get to the Tokaido line in Fujisawa, and then from there you got to go to work. You know, so it's excessive transfers versus if you're in Chigasaki, you're already on the Tokaido line, so you just go to your station. No transfers. And the commute's really good, especially considering the commute that it used to be when I was in Kawasaki and have to commute to Tokyo. It's a far cry from that, let me tell you. So, like I said, I've been looking for different areas and stuff like that within Shonan, because I love Shonan, want to stay within Shonan. And I've been toying with the idea of going outside of Chigasaki to find something good. And there's been some pretty decent spots, not gonna lie, but I always come back to Chigasaki, man, just in terms of what I like out here and affordability and the commute to and from work as well, because we've had, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the train outages and things, but we've had some pretty severe train outages during the summer for multitudes of reasons. And I was always thinking, like, you know, what if the train lines go out and I live like really far away from work? You know, like, how am I going to get back home, right? You know, if I lived further away, it'd be a lot harder to get back to work versus if I was closer. So I could reasonably take a bus if that was possible, or worst case scenario, I could walk home. That might take a few hours to do, but it's possible. Or I could, like, a lot of spots out in the Shonan area also have like bike rentals, or those what the hell are they called? It's not e-bike, but it's basically like, you know, you go to one of those like rental bike things where you like pay through the app like 500 yen or something to rent the bike for so many kilometers, or for like a day, or for like an hour or something like that. You scan a QR code and do all that kind of nonsense, and then you can just ride the bike and then just put it back into another parking spot. So they have those as well. So I have different options basically to get home. But regardless, it'd behoove me to stay fairly close, just in case. I'd love to live in Japan and I visit a lot, but life in Sydney is far too easy to bail on. Place where you turn to if you're a nomadic type. Yeah, that's the thing I kind of realized, because like I'd have to get a motorcycle license, number one. Yeah, e-bikes I think is what they're called. Even though the bike itself isn't electronic, it's just a bike that you rent through this website, app, or whatever. Like the day bikes or something, I don't know. But they have this like system out here where you can do that, and then you just clink it into another parking spot, and then that completes the thing. Yeah, they're really popular in a lot of big spots, like in Shonan and Tokyo. They had the little electronic scooters and stuff like that as well. But with Shonan, there's a lot of space, so I don't know how far those scooters can go. So bikes are more practical in that case. But yeah, I'm not really much of a nomadic type person. Like, I like to have my spots. I like to have like a home base, if you will. Those little boxcars they got out there. Oh, dude, that'd be fucking sick. Fucking sick, dude. You could just get one of those guys. It'd be awesome. Yeah, I was really pissed at myself for not being able to renew my license, because I was here during old Colonial Macaroni, and my license was set to expire at the end of 2020. So when I first moved back here to Japan, the idea was I was going to go home for winter break, because they give you like a 60-day grace period. So even though my license technically would have expired by the time I got back, it would still be within renewal period, so it'd be fine. So the idea was to like come home for winter break, Christmas and all that, when school was out, renew my license, and then when I'm set to go back to Japan, I'd go back to Japan. Because, like, I'd done that a lot when I was in the military, you know, because licenses are not federally issued, they're state issued. So you'd have to go back to your state of record. And since I would go back home on leave anyway, if I needed to renew my license, I would just do that there and then, and my license would be good. So that was the plan. But then Kelowna Chan World Tour happened, and got a little fly shy, if you will. And then by the time stuff started clearing up, the grace period on my license had long since expired. So I'd actually talked with the they call it the BMV, but some places call it DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles, for my state. And I was asking, so, hey, I was studying abroad during this time. I couldn't make it back because of pandemic and all that. How can I get my license renewed? Or can I get my license renewed, I should say. And they were like, nah, man, it's long expired. There's no saving it. So you'd basically have to, like, completely redo the license process all over again. So I, in my then mid-30s, now late 30s going on 40s, would have to, if I wanted to get my license again, I would have to go and sit in a fucking driver's ed class with all the 16-year-olds and shit, learning about left turns and right on reds and all this other nonsense. And I have to get driving time in and all this other shit, and it's just, it's ridiculous. So that's what I'd have to do to get my license. But I have been considering it because one of the things I've been thinking about, actually, even though I say I don't plan on going back to America or anything like that, one of the things I have been thinking about is, for a short amount of time anyway, going back to America just to get my license. You know, just go back, live in America for a while, because, you know, if you're living abroad or whatever, I think some people get not just homesick, but they get a little cabin feverish. So it's good to take breaks away from those places. And some people are fine just spending a week or two back in their homelands with family and friends. And that's good enough for them. But, you know, I haven't really gone back that often since moving. I've only gone back once. And that was for my stepdad's funeral. So not exactly for the best of circumstances, if you will. But I think if I were to go back to the States, it would be for a brief amount of time so I could get my license, because if you get a license in Ohio, Japan and Ohio have a license agreement to where if you have a valid Ohio license, then you can get automatically processed for a Japanese license. Not an international license, like an actual Japanese license in Japan. So, from my understanding, all you'd have to do is, I think you still have to do the written test maybe, or you would just give them some information about your residency in Ohio and stuff like that. And then you don't have to do the practical test, I know that. You might have, I don't even know if you have to do even the written test. I think it's just, I think the only test you have to do is just to make sure, like, your eyesight and your hearing is good. And then maybe some other things. Like I said, you have to submit the paperwork and stuff. And then you get your license. And that's it. There's no driver's ed, none of this other nonsense you have to deal with. Especially in Japan, licenses are very hard to get in Japan. Like, you have to come back multiple times, even if you're like a really good driver and you're very serious about safety and stuff like that. They'll gig you on any little thing, and if you fail like one thing, like, you're done. You know, you have to like come back in a month or two to like retry the test again. And you know, I've talked to so many people, and even like the best of drivers, they have to come back like 4 or 5 times. And I'm like, I don't have that kind of patience or money, because you have to pay for the whole fucking thing. So rather than do that, I'm thinking, you know, maybe it would make more sense for me to just go back home for a bit, get my license, and then come back. Yeah, shit, man. I haven't driven since I was living back in America. So like back in 2019 was the last time I drove anything. So it's about like when I was in the military too, because like I would drive occasionally. Like I would rent a car if I was in San Diego or something, if I had places to be. But you know, most of the time I could just get by just fine just with trains and buses. You know, I was pretty easy one to please in that regard. Though I was a lot younger and more ignorant of the world, so I was maybe if I were to go back in that environment now, I would, you know, get my license and stay away from those bad sections of town that I would walk around in without a care in the world. Let's see, love the boxers, yeah, same as you, man. A lot of places love having a little nest. Yeah, they do. It's just so easy, especially in like the city side areas. It's so easy to live in. Now, if I was out in the countryside or something like that, outside of, you know, the periphery of the main cities, then yeah, I would have to definitely get my license just to function. It'd be no different than if I was living in America, right? Because you need a car to like get around, you know. Which is another thing, you know. I want to be able to have that license. So if I needed to go somewhere or wanted to go somewhere outside of the train lines and stuff, I could. You know. Now, I don't know if I would want to get a motorcycle necessarily. I'm not a big fan of the donor cycles. That's not my jam, personally. I get the appeal, but it's not really my deal. Hey, that rhymed. But I would definitely like a license to be able to rent a car if I was like moving, for instance. That'd be a big one. Either if I'm moving or if I'm helping somebody to move, I like to be able to rent a car and help them out if they don't have a license or whatever. Or if, you know, I wanted to go on a vacation somewhere outside of the major train lines, or it would be like a big pain in the ass to go by trains and buses and stuff, to just have that flexibility of driving, you know. But as far as like day-to-day stuff, I don't know. I still enjoy my walks to and from work and to and from the stations and stuff like that, so I don't mind doing that. Keeps me a little less fat than I am now. I'm worried if I were to get in a car and have that be my daily commute, I'd gain like 20 kilos or some shit like that from just not doing walking and stuff. But regardless, yeah, as a daily driver, I don't know. But as an every once in a while thing, it's nice to have, for sure. For sure. But any Husenberg, I think we'll carry on with this video here. Yeah, donor cycle. Yeah, that's what I call them, man. Cause like I got scared straight with riding motorcycles when I was in the military. I just seen so many horror stories, not just at like GMTs and shit, but from other people. You know, they would get in wrecks and they get all fucked up, and they weren't even going that fast or doing anything that reckless. You know, they just, you know, one guy was going just 35 mile an hour. That's like, I don't know, 45, 50 kilometers an hour, something like that. Which by American standards isn't that fast. But he got clipped by a car door, I guess. He was a little too close and just fucked his shit up, basically. What's dating like in Japan? It's pretty shit, man. I'm not gonna lie. I've been trying to get into the scene. You know, get on the apps and shit, and the apps are all a bunch of fucking nonsense. I don't care what anybody tells you. It's all it's pretty much I used to joke and say that it was all bots and Russian hookers, but now it's just all bots. So yeah, and even of the human contingent that's on there, you don't really glean much of anything about the person. You don't even know what they look like most of the time, because they like hide behind either group photos or it's just like their hands or some shit. And like all you get is a picture of a cake, something Disney related or Harry Potter related, and like them at some random outside place eating something with a bunch of friends. So you don't know who the hell this person is, because they're in a group. And like all the faces are blurred out anyway, so you wouldn't know who they were anyway. And I'm just scrolling through all these profiles of all these people doing the same shit, and it's just like, ugh, it's fucking ridiculous, dude. Every once in a while you'd see somebody, you know, kind of showing a little cleavage or something like that. It's like, yep, those are the bots. Those are the bots. So it's like, man. So the apps are fucking useless. And then trying to just get in, you know, the old-fashioned way, especially living in Shonan, there's not a lot of... Most of the younger crowds come during summertime, because that's the main on-season time for Shonan. But me personally, I'd prefer the locals, just because a lot of the girls, you know, they come down here from like Tokyo and Dasaitama and shit like that, and they're city girls, man. Like, they're used to like going to Starbucks and reading Harry Potter and all this other Disney nonsense as well. So it's just like, yeah, you know, it's just, they're not really all that interesting, you know. But at least with the girls in Shonan, they're a lot more game to go out and... Yeah, exactly. At least the local girls around here are more down to, like, do stuff. You know, it's just... They're willing to, like, go out and, hey, you know, my friend has this party coming up. You want to come? I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. You know, and it's just be this, like, cool beach party, or, like, they got, like, a restaurant or something by the beach, or, like, one of their friends has, like a beach house or something like that, overlooking something, and it's just like super chill, and it's just really cool, man. But it never really goes anywhere, just because it's really hard to like get to know somebody enough to like want to invest in them in those types of settings, because like, you know, the first date, first encounter, whatever, it's basically a job interview. And especially as a foreigner, you always get the 4 or 5 questions of doom, right? You know, where are you from? Why did you come to Japan? Do you have a Japanese girlfriend? When you leaving? And sometimes they ask a random 5th question too. But it's usually those 4 questions at least. So... And it's fine as like an opener for those questions. I used to get pissed off about it when I was younger, but nowadays I kind of understand it's just an easy icebreaker for people. And you can ask any foreigner that question, so it's just easy for them to do that. But at the same time, it still gets kind of annoying that, you know, I have to invest my time in answering these questions. And then once I'm done answering these questions, they all do the funny amoshiroi. They do all that shit, and then they like fuck off to go with their friends, and I never see them again. Or if I do see them at the party, they just do the amoshiroi. You know, they just talk with their friends and shit. So I was like, okay, I guess I wasted my time talking with your bitch ass, you know. So, you know, the best way I guess would be just to go within, you know, not your immediate friend group, but like friends of friends, basically. Because if you go within your immediate friend group, it gets awkward, you know, like it could turn out fine where, you know, she's already used to being in the friend group because she's in the friend group, but you guys are like dating and stuff, so it's fine. But if you guys break up or something, that, you know, gets a little awkward in the friend group. But if it's a friend of a friend, if there's some level of detachment within the immediate friend group, then it's a little easier. Because you can pick and choose which events you want to go to. It's like, oh, you know, so-and-so is going to be there. Do I want to show up? Do I not want to show up? I don't know. Whereas, you know, if any event, if it's within the immediate friend group, you know they're going to be there. So there's no, like, maybe or maybe not, you know. Yeah. World's the same in a lot of ways. Same, but different. And, you know, I still get messages all the time of like, oh, well, Angie saying you're white. You know, Asian girls are looking for average white guys like you. And I'm like, I know. But then, you know, and then they would show examples of like these, I hate to sound bad, but these like really washed looking fucking white guys that are like basement dwellers getting these fucking hotties and stuff like that. And it's just like, you know, and it's like, these guys can score, why can't you, Andy San? Well, because I don't want to get fucking stabbed in the middle of the night after I impregnate her and give her a little hafu white baby, which is all she wants. You know, I want somebody I can have an actual relationship with and not just be a breeding tool, which is something nobody really talks about. You know, they just talk about scoring, but they don't think about the aftermath. Yeah. But, you know, it is what it is. Shogunai and such. Yeah. But, I mean, you just have to... Yeah, exactly. You know, they just want somebody they can have a cute little hafu white baby with, and then you're fucking useless. Fuck off. Go back to American land, Mr. Cheeseburger Man. Yeah. Well, they just want to have a kid so they can shove it in their mom's face of, you know, see, I can be a mom. I'm not completely fucking useless. You know, so it's pressure from their side of the family too, so like I get it. But, and it's not that I don't want to have kids. I do want to have kids. But, you know, I want to have an actual relationship with my wife. You know, I don't want to just be there to breed and to bring home money and get fucking yelled at for every goddamn thing. Outside of breeding and making money. So, yeah. So I'm just looking out for other things, is all.
How to use copy.ai to increase productivity at work.
Jeez. Text, yeah. Oh, actually. Do it this way. Copy.ai. Yeah, just the timing of this caption isn't really all that good. Yeah, you know. Yeah, it is what it is, you know. I'm not bitter about it. I'm just aware of it. And I'm not in like a big rush to get in a relationship just because, you know, taking my time. From China, her mother basically said what went. Said what went. It was tough. Anyone else for anything? Yeah. Yeah, different Asian cultures have different. There's different. It's a little different between the cultures, of course, but the same pressures apply. You know, there's that pressure to get married, have kids, stuff like that. You know, that's very big in Asian societies, for sure. And with the way Japan's set up, it's set up for single people. You know, there's a lot of stuff out there to where you could be single your entire life and be just fine. You know, just how everything's set up, like the apartments. It's not like in the West where the apartments and houses are set up for families, for the most part. You know, you got your 3-bedroom houses and shit like that, and you can't rent anything smaller than that unless you get this, you know, dodgy ass studio apartment in the bad side of town. So it's either dodgy studio apartment in the bad side of town or this big ass 3-bedroom house that you cannot afford. You know, it's like there's no middle ground in that. There's nothing with that in the Western world. Out here in the other side, the Eastern world, there's a lot of apartments are single occupancy. You know, there's the 1-bedrooms. There's even like smaller denominations of that. So there's even stuff where you don't have a dining room and a kitchen. It's a 1R, 1 room. You have 1 room, a shower and a bath, and that's about it, really. And so when that world is like formatted for you, you know, it doesn't really give you a lot of incentive to go out and like shoot for something better. And plus the way the job market is, like, Jesus Christ, this job market is atrocious, man. You know, because like the main thing with job market in Japan is that it really kicks off in the springtime. That's like the main time where you see like a huge influx in hiring and stuff. Yeah, just a touch dodgy, yeah. Well, you know. But or instead of dodgy, we would say like sketch or sketchy part of town. Regardless. But yeah, when the world is like formatted for single folks, there's no real incentive for them to try for anything else. And then with the job market being what it is, like in just this spring, it's fucking depressing because that's the main hiring time for not just foreigners, but Japanese people too, because they're coming out of university and stuff. So they're going out and applying to jobs and going to all these interviews and everything. And there's hardly anything available for jobs this year. And I was just shocked. Because usually there's like a whole glut of jobs that come available, but it's all in like parts that I don't want to be in. Like most of it's in Tokyo, of course, but then you get other jobs that are in like far-flung parts of the world, or parts of Japan rather, like the super Inaka parts, you know, like in Hyogo or Dasaitama, I should say, not Saitama, Dasaitama, and then like Aichi, which is where Nagoya is, but it's not Nagoya City, it's in the mountains or some shit. So those spots, some parts in Kyushu sometimes as well. Never really city side, it's all super country. Which, I mean, if I had a license, I would be a little more apt to go to those places, but without a license, I'd be fucked. You know, so there's no fucking shot of me even applying for those spots. Because I know some people will be like, well, Andy-san, why don't you, you know, I saw this job offering in some part in Kyushu, why don't you go for there, man? Don't have a license, you know? unless I was living in the city, it wouldn't really make sense. And even if you do live in the cities, like the smaller cities, it's stuff's a bit more spread out. So you have to think of these logistics, you know. A 1-bedroom apartment, nice area, work out, play games, meditate. Think you're right. There's so much room for a bird. Yeah, exactly. You know, like once you get your system going, there's just no incentive to do anything else. And Japan has like tailor-made it to where people don't really, both men and women, it's not just a man problem, it's a woman problem too. You know, they have the system set up for them as well, to where there's really no incentive outside of their families constantly nagging them to get married and have kids and stuff like that. You know, if anything, it just puts more of a burden on them, not only to go out and find somebody, but once they find that somebody, now they got to get a bigger place, because, you know, the two of them can't live in a tiny ass little 1-hour apartment that they themselves can barely fit in. You know, and to bring kids in the mix, like, nah, that shit ain't happening, brother. You know, so you have to find another spot outside of that. And, you know, living in the city as a couple is, unless you already have money, it's just a no-go, man. So you have to look for stuff in the outside areas to live in. Like if you want to live in Tokyo, there's the suburban areas like Suganami, Setagaya. Those are 2 popular areas. Nakano, maybe. You know, stuff in like the western part of Tokyo that would be easier to live in. But me personally, I love living in Kanagawa, so if I had to work in Tokyo, I would probably move back to Kawasaki, because that'd just be the easiest for me to deal with. Of course, depending on where in Tokyo I'd be working in. If I was working in, like, you know, Eastern Tokyo or something like that, I'd probably move to Chiba, just because it's cheaper, you know. I'd do my best to not live in Tokyo, is what I'm trying to say. Just because Tokyo prices get really fucking expensive, and their immigration is the fucking shits, dude. It's the fucking shits. Yeah, not sound bitter sexist, but that shit falls on the man. Picks all for someone to have a good. Yeah, I mean, yes and no. It just depends on the situation. You know, once you are a couple, then yeah, that shit does fall on the man. But before you're a couple, you know, it's, you know, the women feels pressure to, like I said, to have kids and stuff like that from their folks. You know, and even from society at large, you know, once you know, there's the sexist saying here called Christmas cake, which is, you know, the idea is once a woman has hit 25 years old, that their, I guess, marketing power as a fertile woman in society drops considerably, because nobody wants a Christmas cake when it's past Christmas, is the idea. So the whole, oh, you know, these ladies become Christmas cake, you know. So if you hear that saying, that's where that comes from. So if you're really young, then it's whatever. But once you get close or hit 25 and above, then they really start to feel the pressure, not just from their folks, but from society as well, to find somebody. But yeah, once they do get their anata, as it were, then a lot of that pressure of providing and stuff like that does fall on the man. That's how that works. But yeah, it's kind of the long and short of why I haven't really been getting myself out there for dates and things. Because, yeah, exactly. I fucking hate that phrase, Christmas cake, or leftover woman is the Chinese version of that. I just fucking hate that shit, man. You know, but that just is, as a society, how they perceive those types of people, you know. And I fucking can't stand it, you know. So for me, I just don't participate in that shit, you know. I'm still, you know, I still have eyes. I'm a man. I have eyes. I can look around, you know, but I'm not like, yeah, exactly. You know, I'm not gonna like get, you know, try to get with the first person I see, right? You know, there's a lot of steps we have to go through first, you know. And I'm not just here for like a casual hookup or anything like that, you know, because at my age, man, you know, to be honest, I don't really need it. You know, I'm not really here for the casual hookups and things. You know, I'm here for the long haul. I'm a husband kind of guy, basically. You know, and I recognize that. You know, some guys, they aren't husband guys. They're, you know, boyfriend guys at best, or again that casual hookup, more than likely. And they don't want to commit any further than that. But for me, you know, if I'm going to be with somebody, I want to commit for the long haul. And so I just need to figure that out with people. You know, it's because I meet people who I think, you know, are great friends. I have a lot of female friends who I think are great as friends, but going beyond that, gets a little choto sometimes. But as friends, I love them for their company and insights and hanging out with them and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm not in a super big hurry to get married, if you will. I'm not opposed to it. Like I said, you know, I'd love to get married and have some kids and establish my husbando life here in Japan. Add another visa to my list like freaking infinity stones, right? Although that stone will go here. If you know, you know. But, yeah, you know.
How to use Copy.ai to increase productivity at work. Copy.ai.
Oh, it doesn't include the dot in here. That's lame. So there's that. I think we're all husband guys, but it's to find someone you want to commit to. Yeah, exactly. For all the reasons that I already talked about. So all I can really do is just, you know, just keep looking. If you find somebody, you find somebody. If you don't, you don't. It's not a life or death sort of thing.
Copy.ai is an AI-powered writing assistant designed to help you write faster, brainstorm ideas, and repurpose content. It can handle
Can you cut here?
everything from emails to blog posts, product descriptions, sales outreach, and team documentation. When used,
the pacing on this one is a lot different than the other one. The other one I felt was like way faster, and it felt like it was like squishing the content in. This one's a lot more loose, and there's more, seems like a more natural pace. So this is good. This is kind of more in line with what I was saying earlier about the program. I'm not sure if it's the program he uses or just the way he's formatting the script and outputting to this AI thing. Yeah, exactly. Just keep going, man. Just keep going.
strategically, it saves hours of manual drafting and keeps communication consistent across your organization. Step-by-step guide 1. Setup.
Yeah, see, again with the step-by-step thing, it just, he could have used a different phrase. You know, a step-by-step guide, chapter 1, maybe. You know, just my personal critique of these things. because you know that's my one problem with these AI prompts. Like I said, it's like a genie, where it'll say exactly what you want it to say, which is good, but it's also bad because it will say exactly what you want it to say. You know, so you have to be very careful about how you lay out the script for these things, because it has to sound. There's a difference between having stuff that looks good to read and having stuff that sounds good for a script. And as you can see here, it reads everything. So a lot of the spacing and the sections and stuff like that just does. It sounds very unnatural. You know, but I would say compared to the other video, it sounds more natural. But still, like the
Step-by-step guide 1. Set up your workspace. Create an account and choose a...
Now you could use, I guess, you know, if
Step
you know, if there's a if he does like step-by-step guide 2, guide 3, you know, so on and so forth. Sure, but even then, I'll put like chapter 1, part 1, section 1, because using step-by-step in this context doesn't make sense to me. That's just my deal, my little pet peeve, if you will.
Step guide 1. Set up your workspace. Create an account and choose...
And see, that's good pacing, because you have the guide 1, title, set up your workspace, space, and then he gets into it.
Create an account and choose a workspace. You can set up one for your whole team. Adjust settings.
Okay, cut it there, because I want to add more space. I don't want to have like too many quick cuts, because there's some things that need more time to develop than others, rather than just beep 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 beep. So you gotta listen for the spacing.
Adjust settings to include your company's brand voice, keyword.
Not brand voice. Brand voice. It's one deal.
Brand voice, keywords or tone preferences, professional, casual, persuasive, etc. Explore the dashboard.
I don't wanna.
Settings to include your company's brand voice, keywords or tone preferences, professional, casual, persuasive, etc.
Okay.
Explore the dashboard.
Alright, so we'll cut it here.
You'll see templates, workflows, and the chat interface where you can interact with copy.ai.
This is a KPI. Different type of KPI there, gay. Copy.ai. So, copy.ai. There. So again, you have to go in there and like reformat the stuff.
Where you can interact with copy.ai. 2. Use AI chat for
So we'll cut it there.
Everyday tasks. The chat feature works like a personal...
Okay. There. Much more of the shit we got. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I also gotta wash my little tumbler out because I'm gonna pour myself another drink, but it's not gonna be iced black. It's gonna be something a little different. So I don't want it to taste like coffee. So let me just wash this guy out real quick. Go to the bathroom, and I'll be right back. So chote the mates. Let me let y'all know in chat what's the haps. BRB 5 minutes. Okay. Probably gonna be less than 5 minutes, but you know. Huh? Okay, I'm back. Whew. Alright. Let me grab a little something to drink from the fridge. Oh, y'all can you see me? Oh, you can see me. Okay, cool. Let me see here. Let's go for this guy. Single guy fridge, for sure. All I have is drinks, some pickles, some salsa, and a freezer full of ice for said drinks. Keep the ice on ice for now because those drinks are plenty cool. Alright, cool. Alrighty. You guys miss me? Okay, so have ourselves a little drink break while we're going through this thing. So the drinks I got, this one is, where are we at here? Oh, this is a Sumomo Kirin. Ah, thanks, bro. Yeah, this is Sumomo Kirin. So this is the no sugar version. So if you look here, no sugar. Those are the kanji for that. Sumomo. So it's a sweet plum. Unlike ume, which is like sour plum. Yeah, for real, dude. So it's a different type of flavor. It's closer to like, I don't know if Australia has plums. It's basically like a purple plum. Is that type of flavor, if you will. So it's what I think of as a plum, versus ume, which is its own separate taste. Not that one's better than the other. It's just the Sumomo is sweeter than the ume. Ume's more sour. So anyway, and speaking of sour, we got old lemon power right here with a 7%er right there. I've gotten a lot more active in my selections for lemon sours because I'm a little particular about lemon flavor. And like the most popular lemon sours often have like the worst lemon flavor. My all-time favorite lemon sour is, as far as like commercially done stuff, is the Sapporo dark blue can, which sadly I can only get at either Create, which is a kusuri, like a drugstore basically, like kind of Japan's version of like a Walgreens or a CVS or something like that, basically. So you can get your drinks there, or at Lawson's. Now, back when I was in Kawasaki, I was spoiled for choice as far as convenies go, because you had a friggin' Family Mart and a Lawson within spitting distance, and then you have a 7. It's a little bit of a further walk, but not too unreasonable. Yeah, right? For your plums, mate. Oh, it was off camera. Your plums, mate. Yeah, right? So back when I was in Kawasaki, I was spoiled for choice for convenies. But in Chigasaki, stuff's a bit more spread out. So they have a lot more 7-Elevens, if you will, out here. And then the Lawsons and the Family Mart, which I used to go to the Family Mart all the time in Kawasaki. That was like my spot. But the only Family Mart they have around here is this little tiny ass one by the station, and it's, yeah. They used to have one on the way to home, but that closed down. And when it closed down, it reopened as a Costco surplus store, so you could get Costco stuff without a Costco membership, and that was pretty cool. I used to get like barbecue sauce and cans of Dr. Pepper for pretty cheap out there. Oh, and chips are good too, or crisps in other parts of the world. So you get those guys. Then Husenberg. So I'm going to be mixing these two together. So you get a Sumomo lemon sour tower of power. sort of drink. And that's what we're working with today. I also have a green apple drink in my my fridge. Let's save that one for later because it doesn't play well with others. It's one of those flavors, you know, friggin' green apple. I love green apple, but it's not a good drink to mix things with. It's like, well, it's not as bad as pineapple. Pineapple you can mix some things with, but it's very limited. Like pineapple you can mix it with like mango or lemon. Lemon's like a great base for just about anything. But even lemon and green apple is kind of you know. It's just like, just stick with the green apple. But green apple's like my all-time. Yeah. Well, I've had many Commonwealth, we'll say, many Commonwealth friends who have rolled their eyes at me whenever I say, hey man, I got a bag of chips over here, you guys want one? It's like, mate, they're bloody crisps. Yeah, fucking cunt. They're not even Walkers. Get on with it, you sorry sod. Oh yeah. Oh, shit. Speaking of which, I do have some food. Now that I mentioned some crisps. I totally forgot. I bought these earlier today. A little bag of chips or crisps. So they're just your basic salt and things. But they're really good. They're probably my favorite, just regular chips, crisps in Japan. This brand also has like a pepper flavor one too, which is pretty good. I find that like in Japan, they like to really gimmick out the crisps chips. So they can get a little crazy sometimes. But, you know, if you just get the standard salt ones, you're good. They do have salt and vinegar out here too, if you're into that sort of thing. But I don't know. I always find the basics are good. These are kettle fried, I believe, too. They're nice and thick with their crispy edges. So. That's some good-ish. Hopefully that crunching isn't too bad. I'm going to move the mic away so you guys don't hear it as much. Hopefully. But anyway. Let's carry on the editing. Come on now.
Tasks. The chat feature works like a personal writing assistant. You can draft emails, summarize documents, rewrite text in a different tone, generate lists, outlines, or strategies. Example prompt: write a polite follow-up email to a client.
Okay, okay, so I'll probably cut it to there. Sorry, the mic's in the way, I can't see shit now. Yeah, I used to not like salt and vinegar, but I think as I've gotten older, I really dig that sort of stuff. Oh yeah, the spicy chips. The non-Japanese spicy chips are fucking dope, dude. Like, one of my coworkers, when she was out visiting Thailand, she brought. All right, cool. She brought back a lot of chips from Thailand. They're super fucking spicy. Oh my god. They're not just spicy, they have like really good flavor too. That's the key. So.
Write a polite follow-up email to a client who hasn't responded in 5 days. Keep it professional but warm. Summarize this 2-page report into 5 bullet points for an exec.
Okay. So we'll separate the prompts here. Oh.
executive update. Rewrite this announcement.
What? Yep. Oh yeah. Ah, this shit's so good. It's just so basic. It's just salt and chips. You know? And of course your drink. Can't forget your drink. And just, you know, lemon is a good base for mixing. Oh, cheese and onion is so good. They have sour cream and onion here in Japan too. And those are pretty good. They also have Doritos as well. Let me show you my favorite Dorito locally. I save these for when I use salsa. So I got a lot of these from this grocery store for like 88 yen. So like mega fucking cheap. So these are the cheddar Doritos that are kind of the new hotness lately. And these are pretty good. But I do have to say, if you get Doritos locally from Japan, I find that they're a lot sweeter than normal. And coming from an American who likes sweet things, that's saying a lot. They're too sweet. But like, yeah, the nacho cheese, so like the red bag ones, I find that they're like too sweet tasting. And I'm just like, this is weird. But these are pretty good. These are pretty darn good. But if you're looking for like what a standard nacho cheese Dorito would taste like in Japan, there's this brand called Don Tacos, which is really fucking good. It's about as close to Doritos as you can get without getting the export version. Which the export version is how they should taste. But those are hard to come by, and you gotta pay a premium for those guys. Especially nowadays, shit, man. But yo, Dad, is that you? Dad and Mom, what's up? Long time no see. Oh my gosh.
Announcement in a more friendly tone for our internal Slack. 3.
Lol. Anyway. Look at me having to mod. Jesus.
3. Tap into pre-built workflows. Copy.ai has ready-made.
Huh? Oh, copy.ai. I was reading copy data and it's like, copy data? Copy data? What is that? Oh, lordy. Yeah, they are.
Copy.ai has ready-made workflows that handle multi-step tasks automatically.
Oh. Right, cool.
For example, blog post work.
So I'll hit it at the for example.
Workflow generates an outline, intro, body, and conclusion. Social media workflow turns.
Okay. So cut it to social media workflow. Yeah, they're not impossible to get, but they are harder, especially nowadays, and they're a little more expensive. So, you know. You could go that route for the full one-to-one experience, or you just get some. Oh yeah, there was some chucklehead I had to ban, talking a bunch of shit. So it's all good. He was like, "You fat turd." And I'm like, "Dad? Dad, is that you?"
Turns a blog post into LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram captions. Sales outreach workflow.
Okay, so cut here. So we'll cut up the different like workflows and things of that sort.
Creates a sequence of personalized cold emails. How to use. Select a.
Okay. Hit here. play the video games? Not as much as I used to. I think the only games I really play is just like some stuff on my phone. It's like the Pokemon games. I play Uno, like the online Uno. I used to play online Tetris, but I got bombarded by too many ads. I'm getting there with Uno too. Like they put too much random nonsense in those games. It's like I just want to play some fucking Uno. I don't need to get all this like shit for like, oh, promo cards and oh, you get entered into this thing or oh, you gotta, yeah, basically, pretty much. Rip and piss, they won't be missed.
Workflow from the library. Enter your input, topic, audience, tone. Let copy.ai generate.
Right? Now it's spelling copy dot instead of putting a dot in there. So now you gotta go through and fix the timing and shit here as well. Okay, so switch that shit. Gonna shrink that caption, lengthen that caption. So it's.
Let copy.ai generate multiple options.
Okay. All right, good sheet, good sheet. Oh man. Speaking of which, I was going through some old. Speaking of which, of that old not Scushy, I was going through some of my old streams where I was talking shit about some old J-vloggers, former friends of the channel. Man, that shit was a blast from the past. It's like 4 years ago now. Whoop. Ah, good. Caught on my leg. Yeah, it's so wild to hear me talk about like TKO Sam and Victor and Scott and all them guys. Like, man, that's some wild stuff.
AI generate multiple options. Edit or refine, then export to your document.
I think we'll cut it here.
Document or CMS. 4. Brainstorm.
Because you don't want it to be too long, because otherwise this would be like one big ass thing. And it's a bit much, in my opinion.
Faster. Use copy.ai.
This shit again. And for you are. And then we'll just cut it from here, add it to here. Use copy dot AI to break through. Yeah, exactly, man. And it's just so crazy to see like how much has changed for me in those times.
To break through creative blocks.
Whoa. Shit. Hold on.
Use copy.ai
to break.
To break through.
Oh, I see. Here to here. Yeah, it's just worlds apart now, man. Worlds apart.
Storm faster. Use copy.ai to break through creative blocks or speed up planning sessions. Examples. Give me.
Okay. Most blokes are like hard to fully get along with if they have big personalities or all ends. Yeah, that's true. No. I mean, that's something I really learned about with my current friend groups, is that, you know, for my guy friends, you know, we're willing to like put aside our ego and machismo-ness and all that kinds of stuff to really talk about and open up about stuff we're feeling, you know. And I really like that. You know, we're not trying to like outbro each other, basically. So so for us, I think we get on pretty well. But I know it's not the case for everybody. So it can be a bit harder for some.
To break through creative blocks or speed up planning sessions. Examples. Give me 10 webinar title ideas for a session about remote team productivity. List 5 potential pain points for small business about remote team productivity. List 5 potential pain points for small business owners when it comes to payroll software. Generate 3 different...
Man, there's so much spacing in this video. I don't know if you guys were here for the video I was cutting up earlier, but like it was so fucking tight and I couldn't, you know, do many cuts. You know, yeah, exactly. I think it also helps that, you know, my friend groups tend to skew a bit older. You know, like we're mostly in our 30s now. So, been through a lot of nonsense in our life. Ain't high school no more. Yeah, and that's very important too. Recognizing need for space. But that being said, it is nice to get invited to things. You know, like I can use myself for an example. Like there's times where I don't want to go out and do stuff, or I have like other obligations. Like today, I'm editing this video here. But it is still nice to be invited to things and be shown that, hey, you know, if you want to show up, that's cool. There's no pressure for you to show up, but if you're free, if you want to come over, no worries, man. We got a plate for you. So, and that's what I love about my current friend group. They're so positive and supportive about that kinds of stuff. You know, I've had a lot of friends come and go in my life, as some former friends I had already mentioned. Those are just the more internet famous ones, but some that were outside of that sphere. You know, I've had a lot of friends come and go in my life, and you know, just doing a lot of internal work and just kind of figuring out what I want out of friend groups versus what they can give me. You know, it's just it helps, basically. And, you know, if you need a little bit of space sometimes, that's cool. Again, there's no pressure for you to come out and do stuff, but also, you know, just knowing that you are I don't know, it's like showing that they would like you to show up, that you are wanted versus needed for these sorts of things. Because being needed for something indicates a sense of urgency. Like, we need you to come here to this party or this event or whatever. Versus, you know, well, we want you to come if you want to come, you know. You want to come? Great. If not, you know, no worries. There's always next weekend. You know, just kind of leaving it open for that is great. You know.
different taglines for our new product launch that sound innovative and trustworthy. 5.
And also, just allowing other people to speak in the group. Don't have like one person, dominate the conversation. That also helps. And there's times where we do need to work on that. Admittedly, there's some, but it depends on the conversation and the scenario and stuff. So it's very situation dependent. And solitude's helped me figure everything out. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, and during old Colony Macaroni, I've had a lot of time to think about things in my life. A lot of stuff that I hadn't really thought about before, or hadn't thought about in a long time, and that helped me process a lot of stuff. And also, even fairly recently, if I, were to go on a break from work, right? Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm a great team player, but the problem, or the thing is, like, I'm a great team player, but the thing is, I need to want to be part of the team and not be like forced into it. If I want to be part of the team and feel like they could benefit from me for whatever reason, then I'll fucking commit and go like all in. But if I just get roped in because they need an extra body or whatever, then I'm not motivated to like really do much beyond like the bare minimum, Oh. Thought I heard something.
Automate repetitive writing. Instead of writing the same types of text repeatedly, use copy.ai.
Use copycat. Oh, a little too on the nose, Adobe. A little too on the nose. Okay. Took a sec there.
AI to create .ai to create reusable templates. Example.
Ended just a skittish too quick there.
Templates.
There we go. That's good. Oh yeah. That definitely helps too. Christ, man. Look how much more shit we gotta do. Don't look like a lot, but adds up. Yeah, exactly. Especially that especially got cemented when I was in the military, because I felt like I had a place, Whereas before I joined, I felt like I didn't really have a place in anything. Because I was always like, not really last to be picked, but just like one of the, well, we haven't fucking picked him yet, so alright, Andy, come on over. Or whatever. Whereas when I was in the military, I always had a set spot, a set thing that I needed to do for whatever situation. So I could just plug myself into that. Working towards, maybe not, just working towards something bigger than myself and my own needs. Can be kind of nice. If you do that all the time, then you end up losing your own sense of self. And so that can get a little tricky. So you have to find that right balance of doing stuff for the group that's beyond you, and then doing stuff for yourself as well. So everybody's balance is a little different, and you just got to find yours. That's good stuff.
Use copy.ai to create reusable templates. Example. Instead of writing the same types of text repeatedly.
Okay, I getcha. Okay, so we'll cut it to examples.
Onboarding email, weekly product.
Okay, so it's all these different things. So rather than like one thing, inside copy.ai, whatever. So we can get rid of the inside part. Okay.
6. Collaborate and refine shared drafts with your team inside.
Well, the spoken phrasing, I can't do anything about that, but I can at least make the captions a bit better paced. Well, this bag is ledunzo. Yeah, clean up here. Yeah, clean up here. Ugh. Wi-Fi, but the signal's not great. Oh, sorry. Shit. Did I? Oh, god damn it. Hold on. Sorry. Hold on. Sorry. Ah, fuck. There we go. Yeah, sorry about that. It keeps switching to, there's two Wi-Fi networks that my my computer keeps on switching to. So if like one drops out, it switches to the other one. But the other one isn't really all that good for live streaming. Like if I'm just doing internet browsing or whatever, it's fine. But for live streaming, it's a bit more difficult. It's another reason why I don't stream that much here in this guest house. Internet gets a little wonky for that, but regardless, should be good now. Should be. Knock on plastic or glass door. Anyway, let me check this real quick. Yeah, sorry about that. So is it better now? Hopefully. If you're watching this in the post stream, the nice thing about okay, good. Yeah, the nice thing is if you watch this in the post stream, it'll skip all the cuts. Oh, lordy. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. It happens.